busy week at the big building in downtown Boise. We usually call it the State House. And ideas that have been in the works for weeks have now been crossing the finish line to the governor's desk. Other controversial topics, and including new ones, are building steam towards potential decision days. We had quite the variety of big ticket topics this week. Here's a window into the week that was. To start the week, the Idaho House and Senate sent Governor Little a bill that protects the medical field. Specifically, lawmakers crafted a bill that protects them from being forced to do non-emergency work against their conscience. And this applies to really anything. It covers doctors, nurses, pharmacy workers, the whole gambit of medical professions. Those who voted against it brought up serious situations the law could create. But sponsors say that this is in response to threats to the rights of conscience in healthcare. They say something that's increasingly common and severe in recent years.
And this doctor is telling me that she doesn't or he doesn't think this is good for my child. Don't you want the doctor to tell you the truth?
The primary directive is to do no harm. And that's not just a suggestion that you filter through your personal beliefs. It's an absolute professional commitment, and that has guided the medical practice for centuries.
Tuesday, House Bill 83, Idaho's immigration bill, passed the Senate right along party lines. It had previously passed the House about a month ago, but because it was amended in the Senate, it's now back in the House awaiting final approval. And what it would do is, well, go to the governor's office from there. It makes undocumented entry into Idaho a misdemeanor crime and re-entry a felony. Plus, it creates a brand new state crime of trafficking a dangerous alien for anyone knowingly bringing in an undocumented, dangerous convicted criminal into the state. Critics question the impact and reality of undocumented residents and their contributions to Idaho.
Every time we go to the grocery store and we buy milk at a decent price, it's because we need undocumented workers to come and do the jobs that your kids and my kids won't do.
Halfway through the week on Wednesday, a major accomplishment for Idaho Republicans. Quick action on the latest version of the Medicaid restrictions bill ended with the Idaho Senate advancing the proposal to Governor Little. The legislation looks to tighten some program ideas as a cost-saving measure for the state.
This legislation takes a responsible approach to cost containment by implementing participant cost sharing, work requirements for able-bodied adults, and strengthened eligibility verification measures.
Their proposal is now awaiting action from Governor Little. He could sign it, veto it, or allow it to become Idaho law without his signature. Thursday, Governor Little signed in a controversial law, making the firing squad the state of Idaho's primary method of execution. Secondary remains lethal injection. The law won't go into effect until July of next year, which will give the Idaho Department of Correction time to remodel a facility that's designed and capable of doing a firing squad execution. Idaho is one of only 5 states that is authorizing the use of a firing squad, and when the law does go into effect, unless a state beats Idaho to it, it'd be for the first in the union to have the firing squad as the primary method of execution. Finally, on Friday, after clearing the full Senate, a House committee advanced the Idaho Medical Freedom Act. It, among other things, prevents things like vaccine and mask mandates as conditions for things like employment, going to school, going into a private business, or utilizing government services. I'm sure you picked up from the tone of this idea that, yes, this is in response to public health ideas and actions during the COVID era.
Imagine that we were forced to stand 6 feet apart, that we were told that we had to mask in order to engage in normal life, that where I live, we couldn't go into businesses, we couldn't attend any kind of events, we couldn't go to hotels and restaurants if we didn't show our papers.
The proposal is now on its way to the full House, the final hurdle before it could land on the governor's desk for possible approval and, well, becoming a law itself. And that's a wrap. That's the week that was.